Who is she talking to? All right, what's up, guys? Sorry about that. Had a little bit of crazies going on in the background there. Little crazies are about to rock out now. So basically, if you guys remember from our last video, we have this overwhelming our force is overwhelming compared to theirs, but we didn't want to have to auto-resolve it because we're going to lose 10% of our troops, and frankly, that's just too much because we're not replenishing at this time because we haven't had a chance to build up our area. So we're gonna have to fight this one. They have no cavalry. They only have these two missile units. So basically what we're gonna have to do is just tear up them javelin men with our slingers, excuse me, and then we're eventually going to come around them with the cavalry. Yeah, we're gonna play them like a fiddle, as they would say. I don't know who would say it, but anyway, I just said it, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play them like a fiddle, like a little fiddle, crying to their mamas. They're gonna be crying like their little mamas, like, well, motherfucker. Okay, I don't know, maybe that was a little bit too far. I'm feeling a little frisky today, guys. I'm just gonna let you know, right off the bat, right off Jump Street. If you're young, you probably don't know 21 Jump Street. That shit was dope. Not the movies. The movies were corny. Actually, some people said the one movie was good, but I'm talking about the TV show. That shit was crazy when I was young as hell. Watching 21 Jump Street, they look like fucking 30-year-olds, but they used to go undercover in high schools to catch people like smoking dope. It was just wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. Anyway, so now I should kind of set up to do like a surround, but I'm hoping to mostly come in frontal and then hit them with the cavalry from the back after I take out all their people with my slingers. All right, so let me do this. Let me put these guys in a group so they're easier to manage. All right, there we go. All right, let's rock this out, guys. Now, if they start running at me, I'm going to be a little bit pissed off. It's going to be a little bit annoying, but I'll handle it. If they start running at me, I'll handle it.
Your units have a range of abilities that can be used to improve their performance in battle.
And these graphics are just phenomenal. Look at that. You got the lightning, got the fog rolling in, you got the rain. These guys are wearing basically rags. This guy's cold as hell. This guy looks like every other guy in every other army. Hey, bro, your brother's in my army. Holy shit, I haven't seen him in years. What the fuck? This guy right here. Look at this. I like this. They got different colors. This is diversity. This is a DEI army right here. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, baby. That's what it's all about, total war. All right, let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy, guys. It's just a little joke. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Oh, wait, let's look at this pirate general. See what he's got going on. Oh, man, they're in their phalanx. They're ready to rock. Your elbows, guys, are going to start hurting if you don't chill for a little bit. Yeah, why don't you loosen up? Man, these guys look pretty badass. Those guys look pretty badass, dude. I don't want to fight them. Look at this guy. This is a Chad amongst Chads. Each one looks taller, and then I realize they're on an incline. They're on a hill. Wow, that looks like a chick. Oh, no, he didn't. From back here, he did a little bit. Anyway, I digress again. So let's rock out, guys. All right, so we're going to start off with our slingers, just shooting slings into their faces. And then we're going to... you know what? Let's get our cavalry around the back. You go over here. We're going to move our general over here. We're going to speed the timer up a little. Now, the one thing we don't want is for them to come forward, because then it decreases the amount of time we have to lay them with missiles. Now, the only one problem with that is they're not just gonna eat missiles in their faces all day without coming forward. So, but I'm hoping I can at least take out these javelin men first. So here, I'm gonna pause it just so they act at the same time. So you hit him, and you hit him. All right, let's go. Now, sometimes when you bring troops around one of their flanks, they'll like turn around and they try to react to it. I mean, they're in a tough spot. They can have Julius Caesar with Napoleon as a second, and fucking, General Patton and anybody else. Westmoreland. Westmoreland, he was a fucking idiot. anybody, you know, if you're a Monty person, you know, and there would be nothing that they could do, you know, there'd be nothing that they could do. Like, they just don't have the tools to do anything. Now, if I was them, I would at least try to attack, because sitting back is not going to do anything for them, but we'll see what happens. All right, we got our slingers moving forward. Are they getting close? Are they getting close? Yeah, they're getting close. Oh, see, here we go. Here we go. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. All right, now you guys stop. And now you should be able to attack straight up. So I'll just eventually run with them when they're coming. Now look, here's where you kind of try to get them to do things that they don't normally want to do. And now we're also going to move up our javelin men up here. These javelin men over here. Now the one time when we fought that guy in the fort, that general, we had that general unit left, and we kind of just did it lazy, like how we would do it, just like in a regular campaign, just highlight all of our troops and go forward. That was stupid. I shouldn't have did that. I'm not going to do that in this one. We need to maximize our troop numbers, so we need to destroy these guys without losing as many troops as we can. Now, if we lose some slingers, it's not the end of the world, because we can recruit slingers. I don't see rocks hit these guys in the face. I don't see it. There they go. Come on. There we go. There we go. You lower that just a couple notches, maybe, like maybe 2 notches. All right, so the javelin men are getting close, so we're basically going to have to, you know, we're going to pull back because they don't have any armor or anything. Yeah, we wanted them to stay put for a while, man. We barely had a chance to break through. Basically, they have like almost like an armor number, and you need to break through that before they start losing men. So that didn't really go how we wanted, although it's not terrible either. All right, you guys run back this way. I'm going to have this guy come over here and start hitting him. You come over here, and now maybe they might turn around their javelin men to try to hit my archers. We'll see. We'll see. Probably not, though. You come this way. Alright, so you know what? They came hardcore, so here's what we're going to do then. We're going to take these guys and go back here. And set up and get ready. We actually did... I don't want to say we fucked up, but... Man, I'm a dumbass. I'm what the kids would call a human dumbass. Alright, we're going to line these guys up. Here. And take these javelin men, like here. I just wanted to have these guys set up already. Honestly, I thought once they stopped, they weren't going to just come because I had a couple fucking... You know, I didn't think that was going to happen. So that's my bad. That's my bad. Oh, he has 150 men. Holy shit. Alright, so they're lined up. These javelin men are going to... I should probably charge at him so I don't get hit. Yeah, too late. I'm already getting hit in the face with fucking javelins. Too late. Alright, put these guys in this little incline here. Put these guys right here. Okay. I don't even have any spearmen.
One of our units has used all its
ammunition. These guys have a spear. Oh, they do have spears. Never mind, I take that back. Oh wow, they just ran out of support. That was dumb. That's why I don't like having skirmish mode on, because they do stupid shit like that, like what they just did. Like what they just did. Alright, so this guy's getting hit up. He's only lost 2 guys so far. So we probably just broke through the armor barrier that they have, the little armor barrier. Now they should start losing guys pretty fast. These guys are tough. They're not even holding back with their fucking shields. They're just like, yo, we don't even care. We're too tough for that shit. Alright, so you come forward. I was gonna maybe charge at them, but I'll wait for that. Alright, so he's hit him there. So now I need the javelin men. Come hit suckers. You go here. You go here. You guys hit them right in the back. We're not even going to come out. Look, we're just going to leave these guys here. And they're going to hold the fort. I should have put them in a defensive formation, but my brain isn't smart. So, you know, when you're not smart, you know, you do dumb shit. That's just the way life goes. For the not smart. Come on, charge away. Charge away. Come on. You're on horses. Come on. You're on horses, dude.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Joe Mama used all her ammunition. Oh, and now I might be the dumbest person that ever lived on the planet Earth. I'm over here trying to talk about tutorials and showing people how to play, and I am just playing like an idiot. But let me tell you a little secret. The first step to solving any problem is admitting there is one. And I just admitted I have a problem. I don't know why this guy's thinking about retreating. I mean, he had nothing even happened. You're fighting a couple fucking... Yeah, they're Sam Knights, and they're pretty tough, but... It's nothing crazy, dude. Like, are you really that much of a little sis? A little sissy wuss? Oh, man, what a crazy world we live in. What a crazy world we live in. Is that our general? Yeah, of course it is. If we lose another general, we're tore up. We're absolutely tore up. Did I put you guys in skirmish mode? I did. Why aren't you running?
Our men flee the field of battle.
Yeah, I'm about to flee the field of battle. Of course, you guys are coming back. Alright, I mean, it's not terrible. We're going to wind up losing more guys than we wanted, but... Those guys are taking forever to retreat. Pissing me off a little. You're supposed to be hitting them. You're not supposed to be there. Alright. You go here. Alright. Alright, it wasn't so bad. Wasn't so bad. You're in skirmish mode. But they're not running. They don't know how to run. Let's just charge the guy in the back and just end this shit. Hey, I'll give you guys a little cinematic. They're fighting basically rag-wearing fucking peasants. Let's just charge them for. Yeah, there we go. Eat dirt. Eat dirt. Oh wow. I lost a couple guys. Man, they ate dirt too. Damn. But all right, we got them though. Who else they got? They got this guy over here. We'll fuck this guy out. Come on. So we lost the fucking javelin men. Important ass javelin men.
Our men flee the field of battle. This
fucking crazy. Crazy shit, man. Let's see how many we lost. 400. Oh my goodness. $400. Just because of laziness and stupidity. I wouldn't call it laziness, just my own stupidity. So you know what? Let's call this one a lesson learned. And let's move on to the next battle. Especially the next battle where we have to fight it just to, you know, we have to try to dominate. Let's just call this a lesson learned. Alright, but we have bigger fish to fry. We gotta fight the Epirus. We gotta fight Epirus. We killed Pyrrhus, which is good. He's tough. We're tougher. Alright, so we actually... You know what? They're rebels, but we need money, so let's enslave them.
Ready for further orders.
Junius Brutus, man, highest ranked general. Pretty soon he's gonna want to be king.
At once.
All right, we destroyed the Illyrian pirates. Good for that. Look at that, man. Look how beautiful this is in fall. Rome in the fall. Rome in the autumn. Excuse me for any Europeans that might be watching. I respect you guys. I respect you guys' game. Look at this, man. They control fucking almost all of Magna Graecia. Let's go meet. Oh, you're still okay. You can't go. I can't wait to meet Macedon and turn them against Epirus. All right. So what do we got up here? This is our client state, actually. All right. So we won that little battle there. What's our they're losing 60. Oh, they got all the way down to -20. That's not bad. Oh, because there's still another one down here. Yeah, see, they're going to have to deal with that. They're going to have to deal with that. There was rebels down here. There was getting to be a pretty big force. So let's see what happens there.
We hunger for battle.
All right, let's see. So he can make it back to the city. Let's see if that's going to...
Set up the watch.
I'm hoping to eventually one of these times get some friggin' replenishment, you know? Now, Epirus tried to get peace with us if you didn't watch the last video. And we turned it down because we can't, you know, there's just no reason. We're not at war with anybody else. There's just no reason to not turn it down, you know? So we had to do it. We had to do it. We don't have enough people to friggin' recruit a huge army. Alright, so we got, is this Brutus? Yeah, this is Brutus. Must be in your region with enough population of each type at the start of, yeah, unable to reinforce due to lack of manpower. So that's it right there. That's why we can't replenish. Oh, man. Now we can up his zeal. Continue him on the path to being a stalwart, you know, general for the cause, for the Roman cause. Alright, let's go with that. Alright. Let's see what we got here. So we only control Beneventium. That's fucked up, man. Alright, but you know what? We gotta just do what we gotta do. I take it back. Now we haven't had a chance to upgrade much of these settlements. Again, if you haven't tuned in, we got a couple temples going here. We're upgrading the Eternal City. So let's just keep our money and try to recruit troops when we can. And if we have to get mercenaries, we'll get mercenaries. So we have no barracks down here, so there's not a whole lot we could do with this army. Same here.
At your command.
Oh man, this is up to 17. But just not enough, you know, girth. Just not enough, you know, pure strength. Type of guys that go out on the battlefield and people shit themselves. We need more of that. You know? Not that we need more defecation on the battlefield, but we need people getting scared and defecating on the battlefield. Alright, let's check out politics. I mean, right now, we're doing okay because we're not really winning a ton. No one's jealous of us. These guys are super loyal. That's because that's because Brutus is out there. The Brutii family is out there just fucking making heroes out of themselves. Usually, I like to reward somebody with getting married, but I wonder if I can marry Brutus. You know what? Let me see, and then maybe I can adopt him. Let me try this. Will I be able to... I think I can pick the guy. Yeah, I can. So, this purely political agreement will help defuse the threat from some of our rivals for a while. However, it is possible that the others will decide to take advantage of our temporary weakness. Political marriage arranged. +2 political party event chance. Holy shit. -10 senators, which isn't great. A couple have married. Yes, they have. Lucrezia and Brutus. Now, he doesn't come over here. Now, we might be able to adopt her. We can't adopt him. And there we have it. Now, he's still not in our family. I don't think. No, from the other party, Gens Julia, yeah. Now, eventually, though, he will be. So, basically, he's not the son. The adopted son, this is basically our mother. So this is interesting. So this was our mother, and now she's our adopted daughter. Wow. Think about this one, babe. We had a father, he adopted a son. The father died, so the mother left the family. In order to get the mother back in the family, we had to adopt her. So now our former mother is now our adopted daughter. That's wild, right? Roman politics in a nutshell, my friends. Roman politics in a nutshell. Alright, we're losing gravitas. Oh, this one doesn't cost gravitas. Oh, we're balanced. Alright, balance is pretty good. Once you move up, you get a couple more bonuses. Balance is basically like even Steven. Or influence is 31%. What's everybody else at? 23, 20. Alright, yeah, so we have the most. Alright. So we basically have the most influence in the Senate right now. Alright, Brutus is doing good. I got Fulio. He's our boy, our people, our homeboy. We can get +1 authority. Let's give it to Brutus. So we're ranking Brutus up. I mean, look, I have to win the game. Wait a sec. Why does he have only 2 authority? Oh, don't tell me there's something that crazy that happened. The wife. What'd the wife do? -1 authority, but he gets +2 cunning. Alright, so we're just going to have to rank up his authority. That's all. So his cunning's at 5, which means he can eventually he'll start to be able to build shit more successfully and successful ambushes. This shouldn't be 2 because I just ranked it up. But we'll see what happens from there. Alright, guys. Let's go next turn. We did a little backwards dealing. Oh, wait. You know what? No. Let's just get a couple units. Let's get a unit or 2.
Ready for battle.
We need to really move up to Rome. I should move this unit up to Rome. So they can eventually recruit like a little bit more. Let's see. Should I put these guys together? Alright. There we go. That's good. That helps us a little bit. This allied Hastati, man, they retreated early. Their base morale is 39. That's not bad. I mean, all right, you know what? That's good. That's good for now. All right.
At your command.
There's only 16 troops. And what else are we gonna do? You know, I guess I could replace the javelin men, but you need missile troops, but you need men, infantry to back them up. Here. All right, that's all we can do. All right, we'll take it. All right, let's go. So we're coming up on 1 year for this campaign, which is wild, right? It's so I love that. It's so interesting. 1 real year, you know. We fought multiple battles. All right, so they're coming for this peace treaty again.
But one that many appreciate, as we are sure you will.
I mean, they really want the peace treaty, so obviously there's some level of weakness there. The only thing that I'm worried about is I don't have a big enough piece of the pie to really do a whole lot. And then, you know, we do need to reevaluate and we need to regrow. You know what? Oh, fudge. They're at war with Carthage too. Their defensive alliance with Syracuse, which is interesting because they're right next to Syracuse. Alright, I'm going to take it, and I might just break it when I feel like it at a certain point. You know, I was just reading a book about England, you know, and France when they were fighting, and one of these like super honorable marshals, or his name might have been Marshall, he broke a truce with Philip, the Prince of France, just because, you know, just because, and they were supposed to be chivalrous and shit. So, all right, we're gonna take it for now. We need to rebuild. We haven't built anything. We're not. Our economy is falling behind. How are we gonna compete with Carthage in a few years when we can't even friggin' hold up to Epirus? So yeah, I know we're Roman. We usually don't make peace, but this is not the Roman Empire. This is not the Romans. This is not your daddy's Romans. These are my Romans. We're gonna get it back though. Let's see what we got. Conflict of the Orders. A criminal gang is running rampant, bringing chaos to the streets of Rome. However, dealing with the problem is not as simple as it may first appear, as the gang is rumored to be under the protection of a patrician from a prominent gens, and thus beyond the law. The plebs are in great distress and threaten succession. Oh shit. That's no joke. We're definitely not going to wait it out. Talk with the patrician. The conversation with the patrician should be enough. Use force. Appease them with the speech. Let's talk with the patrician. Alright. So now we need to heal up and get our regrow, basically. Regrow our fucking forces. Modus Rala. So he's not even in the field, even though he has 8 fucking authority. Damn, he's not even in the field. I mean, obviously I knew that, but I hadn't like really thought about the implications. I was so busy just trying to fight that war.
Ready for battle.
Let's see.
Ready for orders.
Alright, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take him.
Ready for battle.
Let me see. Should I disband one of these armies? I mean, I'm making 2,700.
We hunger for battle.
If I disband them, do I get the troops back? Do I get the... You cannot disband a unit and army commanded by a general belonging to a disloyal party. Oh, whatever. I'm not so much worried. Oh, well, I can't even do it anyway. So, you guys read that right. That is true. That actually is something that in Imperator Rome, the game that Paradox dumped, that's a feature, and it's really cool. It makes it really tricky. I think it's also a feature in other Paradox games too, like Crusader Kings. But anyway, so now I actually don't have a disloyal party, so I don't know why I said that, but that is something that's that you got to keep an eye on. So we have Fulio. Which one is he? Not Fulio. Rala. Mendelinus Modius Rala. He's actually fought pretty decent for us. Yeah, he's not a bad chap. Not a bad chap at all. Wow, so we can send a leader to organize games? I'm surprised about that. Alright, let's get out of here. We're not super worried about this right now. We want to figure out what our long-term plan is. So, we need to regrow our strength. We need to build shit. Alright, let's upgrade this settlement. We get 30 salt to add to our trade resources. And then let's move...
At your command.
I guess we'll move them into Rome and just see what the heck's going on in there.
Commander. At ease, man.
Let's see what troops we can recruit.
At your command.
Alright, so at least we'll be able to recruit some decent troops once things go back to normal. And that's just from Rome itself, the Roman city, the ancient city, the ancient capital. You know, so that's not even from like having a barracks. Yeah, we gotta get our public order under control, or else we'll be fighting wars. We'll constantly having secessions in the background. We're gonna work against Epirus at every turn, though, so we're still gonna try to get over there and meet Macedon.
At your service. Swift and silent, a shadow among shadows.
Oh wow! Look at Athens, man. They took Larissa, which means they wiped out the Aetolian Empire, the Aetolian, you know, Republic or whatever. Man, look at that. That's fucking interesting. All right, let's start progressing this game a little bit. In my old campaign, yeah, actually, in my old computer, the turns. Oh, this is actually kind of paused a little bit. What's Carthage doing, man? Carthage doing some work in that turn. Anyway, the turns were so slow. It would take... I mean, you guys know who play Warhammer know that the turns can get pretty long. In this, though, they're going pretty fast, and it's great. You just play the game, and boom, next turn, next turn, next turn. And my old computer, man, oh my god, it was so slow. And it didn't look anything like this. So this is great. But alright, so stratagems. We're going to build up our infrastructure. So we need more money, we need to be able to recruit better troops, and we need to be able to replenish our units. Alright, so far from the capital, local governors get rebellious ideas far above their stations. that they would make great king or powerful warlord. It is the lore of independence. How should we treat this matter? That's a cool picture. I like that. I think that's the picture from the show Rome. No. That guy actually looks familiar. Anyway, so we can't afford to buy the governor's loyalty, which we wouldn't have done. We could send an army, rapidly dispatch a sizable force inside the regent's city. This should remind him of his allegiance. Disclaimer, the regional effect, unstable governor located in the province tab reminds you which city to aim for. Once there, let your force station until unduff runs out. Wow, so this is like for real. I really have to send troops. Have him killed. Send an assassin. Dispose of his life. Expeditious but risky choice. 2,000. We really don't have money for all this shit. And do not act yet. He will never dare rebel against you. At least that's what your advisors say. I mean, everybody's pretty loyal. I mean, I only have a couple settlements, so I could do this one. At least 8 units. Alright, I'm going to do this one. Alliance Forge, Venente and the Subres. I might have a barbarian, horde on my hands a little bit later. The Monte's destroyed. That's interesting. Alright, Roma finally upgraded. That's good. Outrage Populous. This is cool too. This is from DEI. It shows you what happened in real life. So, Arthenian Archon, the Sassanese, Antiochus crosses the Hellespont, defeats the Celts under the command of Cerathostus. I'm sorry, I'm just bad at that. At the Battle of Lysimaca, near Lysimaca, at the neck of the Thracian Tercerenes. After this success, he's acknowledged by the Macedonians as their king. Alright, so that's when Antiochus becomes king. Here's fucking Epirus, man. Oh, there's an H in his name. I didn't even realize that. I've been spelling it without the H. Epirus captures Erx, the strongest Carthaginian fortress in Sicily. This prompts the rest of the Carthaginian control cities in Sicily to defeat the effective Epirus. Yeah, I mean, they say he was a great general, but the only really battles we hear about are his 2 battles with Rome, where he won, but at great cost. One of the sources has him, they used to say that Romans were barbarians. So the Greeks call Epirus over, and he's watching them across, the field or whatever, and he sees them building their camp. The Romans would build a camp every night, and he's looking at them, and he's like, yeah, those don't look like barbarians. The barbarians that I'm used to. There's also another great anecdote. I don't know if you guys are interested. I can't really play and talk at the same time. I'm getting too old to think. But, hold on, let me just check this thing real quick and see if I can find that governor. Oh, it's winter now. Alright, so we gotta... Let's see, foreign resistance, sex dependent. Unstable governor, there it is. So what is that, in Asculum? Alright, so we gotta go up to Asculum with 8 units. Alright, so it'll take us 2. We'll be there by the next turn. That's not that bad. Wow, these guys have hardly any friggin' movement. Holy shit. So anyway, he had this great advisor, like a friend of his, Epirus. Really smart guy. He almost convinced the Romans to make peace with him, and that would have given that would have given them this, Magna Graecia. And he charmed all the senators, yada yada yada. So anyway, he's talking to Epirus, and he's like, so let me ask you a question. What are we gonna do after we claim Italy? He's like, oh, we're gonna move on to Sicily. He's like, okay, what are we gonna do after we claim Sicily? He's like, oh, we're gonna move on to Carthage. He's like, okay, what are we gonna do after we claim Carthage? And then I'm not sure if he talks about going east, but let's say he says, oh, we'll move on to Egypt. And then he keeps going, and towards the end he goes, well, what are we gonna do when we do that? He goes, we're gonna just sit back, drink, basically party, and enjoy the arts or whatever. And the guy's like, okay, well, why don't we just do that now? And it's like, you don't have to conquer all this shit just to get to the point where you can just chill. And it's a great little anecdote,
Commander.
The Romans used to tell a lot of anecdotes that went against basically how they acted, but they still would tell you the anecdotes and then act in the complete opposite direction. It's kind of interesting. Alright, so here we go. We got double cropping, which is just going to give us some agricultural money, but it's going to give us 3 food though, which will be helpful. Alright, so let's see here. So we're going to wait till we get our people in the cities before we start doing anything crazy. We want to see if we can replenish. It's winter, so we're probably not going to be able to replenish, you know, anytime soon. But, you know, Beneventium's a lost cause right now, unfortunately. And we can't do anything here either. I guess we don't have enough money at this point, so we're going to hold on to what we have. Alright, let's go next turn. We're going to wrap this one up pretty soon. It's going to be pretty slow. I'm going to post each video just for people who have the option. Like I said, I'm not trying to make money off these. It's just fun to play and, you know, maybe have people interact with you while you do it. You know, I'm really proud of this campaign, this mod set. I think it's just a really cool, epic campaign. There used to be there is an ultimate 12 turns per year DEI mod. And that also does recruitment. It makes it so that there's different recruitment time for different units, which I love. I love that. But the mod is out of date and it crashes. It doesn't work. That is a mod that I want. I just made upkeep and recruitment more expensive in order to you know, even out like how many troops you can recruit. But that's not the same. You know, I'd love to be able to do the recruitment thing. But it's so hard to mod and none of the mods work. The patrician promptly denies any involvement with the gang, yet the tide of criminal activity seems to abate. The plebs still grumble, nevertheless. So indifferent patricians, +1 loyalty, and grumbling plebs, of course. Of course. Now we lose money and have to deal with the public order hit because the plebs are fucking idiots. Alright, so this guy, let's go in there.
To your duties, men.
You go in here. Alright, still not recruiting anybody. Manpower shortage. I mean, Rome doesn't really have a manpower shortage. Well, I guess they do, yeah. 19,000. They were over 20,000 at one point. So we're still losing troops. I mean, it's winter, of course, but yeah, we really need to solidify our shit, man, and just get, you know, like, look, when you build certain things, if you look on the bottom, like right there, I can't keep it up and do it at the same time. Let me see if I can double click it. Hold on, let me try this one. See right here, you get 0.5% first, second, third class. That goes up. You know, so that's what I need to do. I need to add all these buildings. So, you know, here is 0.7% first and second class. That's what we need. Now, this is obviously 6,000, and it's going to take 20 turns to build, which is fucking nuts, over a year. But that's the campaign that we're playing. You know, that's also what makes it harder. You can't just fight battles, win real quick, get your public order up, you know, get your troops back, build your buildings, and just keep going. That's what makes this hard and also realistic. Although Rome didn't have a ton of problems with... No, that's not true. They could not subdue Spain for the life of them. Gaul was pretty docile after Caesar went in there and just fucked shit up. Basically, some people say committed a genocide. Not even necessarily from the standpoint of like, oh my god, we need to like, you know, wring our hands over it because that, you know, just crazy shit happened at that time. But a lot of people would say that happened. But they were pretty docile. And then like central, you know, northern Italy was pretty docile. Like northern Italy above Italy. But then once you go into the, you know, Dacia, the eastern settlements were very docile. But again, I digress like a motherfucker. All right, so let's see which ones what can we build to get the most people, and then we're gonna call it quits for the day after we figure out what we're building here, guys. I appreciate you watching as always. So this one's gonna give you only 0.3. That's terrible. 0.3. This should probably do a lot. That's 7. Oh, we get 4% unit replenishment, which is huge. And we only get 1% your first class. We get 5% second class. Same here. And we also get the 10 Latin culture influence, which is huge. But honestly, having a main building is always a little bit better. Oh wait, which one was going to take 20 turns? Oh, this one, yeah. This right here points 0.5% for all 3 classes, the first 3 classes. Plus we get more supply, a little bit more growth, a little bit more food, 20 more fish. Shit. I really wanted to go with one of these, but we're going to go with this right now. To upgrade our settlements as well, help with the defensive end. Alright guys, I think that's it for now. Yeah, now he can't. Yeah, he's not even in our family. That sucks. We want to be able to build up the authority of my man right there. But we can't. All right, guys, I'm going to call it. So again, as always, man, if you're watching, thanks. I posted the mod list in the description of this video and the other two. No, in the first 3 videos. I'm not sure if I'm going to post it to every single video, but I might. But all right, I hope you enjoyed it, man. As always, let me know in the comments if you want me to